Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I want to give a guide on how to counter or fight specific classes when you're using Twisting Blade, Poison, Rogues in PvP in Diablo 4. So without further ado, let's go through the classes. So the main class you will fight will be Hota Barb, since there's so many of them. So what you want to do is that you want to preemptively use Poison Imbuement so that you have 2 stacks of poison for a Twisting Blade and wait for the Poison Imbuement to be off cooldown. And also stack your combo points by 3 preemptively before you engage into the fight, and make sure that you have the twist of the trade legendary node effect on your character. So what happens is that when you engage on the barb, you would want to use 2 poison imbuement buffed Twisting Blades. You can also preemptively apply vulnerable using puncture. So you do that, and then you use Poison Beam again for another round of poison on Twisting Blades onto the barb. If the barb fights back, then you would want to pop Shadow Clone so that you can gain Unstoppable for that duration, and also gain a huge amount of damage. You can also coincide this with Poison Improvement so that your clone also does Poison Improvement damage onto the barb. And you will also want to use 1 stack 1 time of Shadow Step to proc the effect of momentum faster, because when one of the requirements for momentum is hitting the enemy from behind, and Shadow Step does exactly that. So it will automatically pop 1 stack of momentum for you to survive better and get the effect from momentum faster. So also because you're using Stolen Vigor, the momentum legendary aspect over here, this is also important to stack the momentum as fast as possible to survive a few Hota Barb hits in the beginning. So your survivability are mainly Escape Artist and Dodge and Stolen Vigor. So if the barb does not have thorns, then you basically win the fight, or if they don't have Call of the Ancients, then you basically win the fight automatically. But if they do have thorns, then you will basically rely on your dodge, your innate dodge chance for your survivability. So your dodge will basically be around 30% plus the 12% from Agile plus the 8% from this legendary aspect on the ring, and this is ring specific. So it will come to around 50% without the elixir. With elixir, it's around 60%, but after 40%, it has diminishing returns. So I would say with the elixir, it's around 55%. Without the elixir, it's around 45 to 47%, which is really good already. And what happens is that when the barb hits you and they consume your Escape Artist, then you rely on your dodge. And if they get 1 Hota Barb Hota in, then you'll basically go to 20% if they're really good, or 10% even if they're really good. And you want to pop your healing potion immediately to regen your life, and also rely on Stolen Vigor and also Siphoning Strikes to regen your health ASAP, and hope that the next 2 attacks from the Hota Barb you can dodge. So that's how you survive. Also, I have the magic bubble, the invulnerable bubble over here, to make my survivability better, but this is a 90-second cooldown, so keep that in mind. And that's about it. So when the barb is out of cooldown on their shells and iron skin, then you want to Shadow Step onto them to permanent stun them, and then kill them quickly. So what is the barb mechanics is that they have 3 shouts plus 1 iron skin. So what they usually do is they pop the 3 shouts in the beginning to DPS you down, and then when they need survivability, then they use iron skin. But against us, they usually pop iron skin as well to survive the initial burst from us from poison imbuement, because iron skin provides a barrier, and then they try to burst us down with their Hota hits. So there's a window of opportunity where you can stun them with Shadow Step and also daze them with Twisting Blades if their shouts and their iron skin is off cooldown. But they will usually run during that time, and I'm not sure if it's a bug, but Shadow Step sometimes does not stun if the barb has too much movement speed. So there's a lot of stuff back and forth in that case, and you can mount up to Refresh Escape Artist and wait for your Poison Imbuement, Shadow Clone, Shadow Step cooldowns to be off. And in this case, you can also use concealment if you are seeing that you're losing the fight, and hopefully the Hota stamina does not AoE you down, so that you can wait for your cooldowns to be back up. So that's Hota Barb. For Poison Imbuement Rogues, Twisting Blades, mirror matchup, you would want to again preemptively pop your Poison Imbuements and then wait for the Poison Imbuement to be off cooldown again. And what I usually do is that I either bait their Shadow Clone and then use Concealment to go away and then re-engage them so that they don't have unstoppable sources, or we both use Shadow Clone and then we fight like a man and see which one has a better build. And I will also pop all my Shadow Step and Concealment right away as well to make sure that my agile buff is on as much as possible, so that I can dodge the rogue skills. So lots of back and forth in rogues as well. Actually, not as much, because the poison, you will usually kill the rogue if the rogue runs away and do not use siphoning strikes. But yeah, it's a pretty fast-paced mirror matchup if it's a mirror matchup. So keep that in mind, and you will need to practice a lot, and make sure that you have this legendary aspect, which grants you primary resource on dodge and also extra dodge chance when you dot them. This is very important for mirror matchups, and also the bubble is also very important. So that's about it for rogues and barbs. For druids, for bulwark druids, you would want to engage them when you have again 2 stacks of poison imbuements. I mean 4 stacks. Plus, also when you are engaging them, you would want the Shadow Clone to be off cooldown. So your burst window is 4 poison imbuements, and then pop Shadow Clone, use 4 poison imbuement, and try to burst them down. So this will be your window of opportunity to bring down their shield, and also make sure that the poison imbuement does work after the barrier is down. You can also use bursting venom in place of this legendary aspect when you're facing druids, so that you can have more sources of poison, so you can DPS them down immediately, like very quickly, when their barrier is down when you pop your Shadow Clone. And when you fail in the beginning to burst him down, then you can wait until your Shadow Clone is over and keep basically attacking him for siphoning strikes, and then pop your mutation again on him, and hope that the barrier goes away when you pop your cooldowns for your rotations. But keep in mind that some bulwark druids are not killable. Like, I tried really hard, but they're just not killable, and you may need a Hota Barb duel in order to bring them down. So that's bulwark druids. And for sorcerer and necro, they're really easy to kill. There's nothing much else to say. Just practice on them, and you will basically kill them with this build, because they're really easy to kill. And yeah, that's about it. And yeah, this legendary aspect is really overpowered, so I really recommend people to use it, and rotate it between this and bursting venom. So yeah, that's about it for this video, and I'll see you on the next one.